ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we've been seeing a theme in our Kartik Mass meditation this year, that how our life can be compared to an exam, not just one exam but a series of exams. And the question paper also varies for each one of us throughout our life. But ultimately each one of us, we have to face the ultimate exam of life. And the Vedic scriptures cutting across whichever Vedic scriptures you are referring to, it says the yardstick or the success in this exam is if we are able to remember the Lord. Etavan Sankhya Yoga Bhyam Swadharma Parinishthaya Janma Labha Parapumsan Ante Narayana Smriti. This verse is very powerful. It comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam when Sukadev Goswami begins to speak to Parikshit for his enquiry as to what should a man do when he knows he is going to die in 7 days' time. Imagine, Cassian, if you are given a notice, just 7 days flat we have. Could be for any one of us. What you would do if somebody says go to temple at that time? No, temple, no, I have only 7 days. Who's going to go to the temple? Probably I'm just giving some examples, making up myself. I will have some lasagna or something and those kind of things. I'll finish off all my bucket list. But as per the Vedic scriptures, it really doesn't matter. All of those things that we aspire for in our life will be tested at the time of death if we are able to remember the Lord. Ante Narayana Smriti. Sometimes people think that it is not too difficult. After all, I have to remember the Lord, that I can do at that point in time. Let me live life the way that I want to. But it's not that easy. Because when we go through a little pain or a disease in life, just a little disease, it becomes so difficult for us to even remember the Lord or do something at that point in time, because the pain that we experience distracts our mind. So more than anything else is the distraction of the mind which can cause havoc. So that's why the scriptures are telling we should prepare now. And the month like Kartik is a golden opportunity where we come together, we hear, we pay attention. Of course, that also becomes difficult for people because they have created their own world of priorities where spirituality doesn't stand, it is not so high. It always takes a back seat. Anyway, a small little effort also in life can make a huge difference, as we saw in this. Doing nothing at all, sorry, it is going, versus a small consistent effort. 1 raised to 365 is still 1. But 1.01 raised to 365 is 37.7. So 370% we make progress just by making a delta change in our life every day. The day 2 we spoke about what kind of knowledge and what is the source. And very beautifully this verse comes in Bhagavatam. Yasvanubhavam akhila shrutisaram ekam adhyatma deepam atitirshatam tamondham samsarinam karunaya purana guhyam tam vyasa sonam upayami gurum muninam. Samsarinam karunaya. Sometimes people, when they are suffering, they don't know that they are suffering. Sometimes we go and meet a doctor, we probably think that something very minor, some very small thing has happened to me. But the doctor who is diagnosing, he is seeing that no, it is far more than what you are thinking or comprehending it to be. Samsarinam karunaya. We are stuck in this material world suffering, yet we are not aware of it. And there are deep compassion, karuna. Out of deep compassion, this knowledge is revealed by the acharyas. And there is nobody to tell us, and we don't have respect for that. And we continue to suffer. That we saw on the second day. Third day, we spoke about a powerful medicine, a tonic that we should always take in our life. Vyamoha prasamausadham munimano vritti pravritti ausadham daitendrati karausadham tribhuvane sanjeevane kausadham bhaktatyanta hitausadham bhavabhaya pradvamsanaikausadham shreya prapti karausadham pivamana Shri Krishna divyausadham. So it's a tonic where this word ausadham is used multiple times, 8 times, and there are 7 benefits of taking the medicine of Krishna's glories. Fourth day, we saw what is the mentality of toppers. For any exam, there will be toppers, what they thought, how did they prepare, what are their mindsets. So usually we are very curious. If we are really serious about passing this exam, we should follow what the toppers have done. And the toppers in these exams are the gopis headed by Srimati Radharani. And there is a beautiful verse that comes in Bhagavatam which talks about the Venu Gita. Iti Venu Ravam Rajan Sarva Bhuta Manoharam Shrutva Brajastriya Sarva Varnayanto Bhire Bhire. And they talk about what should be the laksha, what should be the goal, what should be that ultimate objective in our life. And they say that for those who have eyes, we think there is no greater object of vision. So actually having the form of the Lord in our eyes is considered to be the greatest object of vision. This should be our laksha, this should be our goal, this should be our object of vision. Fifth day, we saw how we can mold our life. There are 64 different angas of devotional life, out of which 5 are very prominent. And they are Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan. Where are you all from? Which part of India? Which part of India are you from? Hyderabad. Are you coming here for the first time? This temple, okay. Which part of Massachusetts are you coming from? Okay, very close. So remember this 5 thing. There are 5 of you. First is Sadhu Sangha. First, what is first? Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha is association of devotees. When we come together and when we hear from the devotees, from the people who are serving the Lord, that is called Sadhu Sangha. Okay. Second is Nama Kirtan. Third is, don't look there, here, Bhagavat Shravan. What is Bhagavat? Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. Perfect. Different from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavat Shravan. Fourth is Mathura Vas. Mathura is a place in India. You are from India, right? There is a place in India called Mathura. That is the birthplace of Krishna, where Krishna took birth. Very beautiful place. Next time when you visit with your family, go to Uttar Pradesh, Mathura and Vrindavan. So fourth is? Correct. Fifth is Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. Shri Murti is the deities, worshipping the deities. What is the first one? What did you remember? Second? Okay. Third? You can see there. Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. Okay, I'll change the slide. Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. Correct. Okay. So these 5 things, if you remember when you go back, you have understood even if you don't know anything else, if you remember these 5 things, you have achieved the perfection of life. So that we saw on the 5th day. 6th day, the Lord says how we can become an instrument in His hand. They're all very interesting instructions. I will skip because we have already spoken about this. Then the 7th day, that is on 3rd November, we spoke about how before a test, we usually write a mock test, or we see the previous year's question papers. So those of you, have you written GRE? No, you didn't. Okay. So if you write GRE, there is something called high frequency word list which used to come. You just mug up those, at least 50% chance something will come from there, definitely. So like that, so we saw a question paper which is given by an acharya. He is telling, very beautiful verse, but anyway, he is telling, I'm going to share to you a secret. So somebody may think, okay, how long you are going to take? He's saying Sankshepata, very small, very briefly, very concisely I'm going to tell, because people say we don't have time for all these things. So he's telling, He Martya Paramam Hitam Shunuto Vo Bhakshyami Sankshepataha. What is your name? Very nice. Hey Ramchandra. If I say, you will not laugh, you will become conscious that I am calling you. Otherwise, if you are doing something, it is very difficult to grab your attention. So that is why the word Hey is used. Hey means oh Ramachandra, right? Hey Ramachandra, just by calling your name, I am getting the benefit of calling out the Lord's name, Ramachandra. He Martya Paramam Hitam Shunuto. He Martya, oh people who are going to face death at some point in time or other. Paramam Hitam. Hear this, the most beneficial thing. Shunuto vo Vakshami Sankshepata. I am going to tell you, this is Kulashekara Alvar in Mukundamala Stotra. He's telling, I am going to tell you in brief. What is that? Samsara Arnavamapadurmi Bahulam Samyak Pravishya Sthita. We are actually in an ocean. Are you in an ocean? No? You are an ocean. You are in an ocean. You know ocean, but are you in an ocean? No. But he's saying we are in ocean. In an ocean, what kind of ocean? Samsara Arnavam. The samsara, the cycle of birth and death, is compared to an ocean. We are stuck in the ocean. So somebody may say, okay, are you just there on the shore of the ocean or you're in the middle of the ocean? He's telling Samyak Pravishya Sthita. We have gone deep within and we have kept ourselves over there. And what kind of an ocean it is? Is it the ocean is very calm and quiet? No. Apadurmi Bahulam. There are a lot of waves which are coming, and these waves are very dangerous. Apadurmi Bahulam. So then what do we do? He's telling just remember 3 things. So first you remember the 5 things, isn't it? What is the first one? Very good. Yes. Very good. Got it. 5 out of 5. Now you have to remember 3 things. Nana Jnanam Apasya. Whatever material knowledge you have to give it up. What are you doing, sir? No. What are you doing? What do you do? Software engineer? Okay. IT is normal. In India, it will be in IT. So first thing is all those material knowledge that we have in our head, we have to keep it aside somewhere. It is required for the material living, to earn a livelihood, not for spiritual progress. Nana Jnanam Apasya Chetasi Namo Narayaneti Amum. Always remember to chant the names of the Lord from your heart, from Chetasi, not from the mouth. So this is the second thing. First is keep aside your jnana, chant the names of the Lord, and third is bow down before the Lord, pay obeisances. What is the first thing? No. Now. Apasya. Keep aside all the material knowledge. Very good, attentive. Second, chant the names of the Lord from the heart. Very, very good. Okay, you're very attentive. Third one, bow down before the Lord. You know, sometimes people from India, when they come to our temple and they have very less time, they come and they do a kind of, I've made this so many times, people are also laughing at it. They will come and stand before the Lord and they will do like this. And then they'll go. This is one kind of obeisance because they are in a hurry. But where is it mentioned? No, you have to bow down before the Lord. People are so conscious of their body. What will happen to my clothes that I'm wearing? Or I don't know what all, my knee has some problem. Don't worry. All those problems will go if you just bow down before the deity. Pranama Sahitam. Pravartya Dhvam Muhuhu. This is what Kulashekara Alvar says. So you have remembered now 8 things. First. Okay. Yes. Very good. Now the 3 things. Mataji is good. What's your name? Rikita. Likita. Okay. What is the first one? Keep aside. Then from the heart. From the heart. And third? Bow down before the Lord. Very good. So now we'll go to the 8th day where we started talking about sadhu sangha. What happens when you associate with devotees? We spoke about that very powerful thing. Very interestingly, do you know this conversation which happened between Bhagavatam is a conversation between whom? Arjuna. That is what we all know, but that is Bhagavad Gita. That conversation happened, that the conversation is part of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavatam is a conversation which is happening between Parikshit and Sukadev Goswami. Parikshit is the grandson of Arjuna who was cursed to die in 7 days' time by a snake bite. And Sukadev Goswami is the son of Vyasadev. So Parikshit is asking this question, what should I do when I know that the death is imminent? I'm going to die in 7 days. What should I do? There he is praying for one prayer, he's offering, if I die unsuccessfully, if I'm not able to control or not able to remember the Lord, what should I pray? Sometimes people come, fold their hands, close their eyes, ask for some material benefits. Give me some wealth, give me some health, give me my children some good education, my husband some long life, or wife some long life, my parents should be healthy. All these things we pray. But here he is telling very beautifully, Punascha bhuyat bhagavatyanante ratih prasangascha tadashrayeshu mahatsu yamyam upayami shrishtim maitriyastu sarvatra namo dvijebhya. Three things he is again praying. Punascha bhuyat bhagavatyanante. If at all I take birth, let my attraction be towards the Lord. Bhagavate anante ratihi. Bhagavati anante, the Lord is unlimited, infinite. Let my attraction be towards that infinite Lord. We have attraction for so many things. Telugu movies, cricket, ICC World Cup, so many things are going on. That we don't, nobody has to tell us, we get attracted. But to get attracted to the Lord is not easy. That's why he's praying. That even if I have to take birth again, punascha bhuyat bhagavati anante rati prasangascha tadashrayeshu. Let me have rati, attraction to the Lord, and I should be always in association of devotees. Because only in association of devotees somebody can ignite that. It is there within our heart, but somebody needs to ignite that. Little bit of matchstick somebody has to light and put it, then it becomes a fire. And third thing, let me have friendship with all living entities, with everyone. These are the three prayers that he has. This we saw about the Sadhu Sangha, then association of devotees. Day 9th, Bahulastami, that was day before yesterday. It was a very auspicious day. We spoke about the appearance of Radha Kund and Shyama Kund. Then yesterday we spoke about the importance of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavat Shravan. So there are beautiful verses. I was quoting this, all these things. But I'll go quickly and come to today's thing, otherwise we will be late. So what is the first thing that you said? Yes. 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 So today we are going to talk about the third thing. What is the third thing? No. Bhagavat Shravan is done. Sorry. Second thing. Nam Kirtan. We will talk about Nam Kirtan today. Very important thing. What is the importance of doing this Nam Kirtan? The second anga of this. So I'll chant one verse. Even how many of you know Sanskrit? No. But you can repeat after me. Every language is coming from Sanskrit. So whichever your mother tongue is, doesn't matter. Our origin is Sanskrit. We can chant. There is no right or wrong. You just repeat loudly. Iti murti abhidhanena mantra murtim amurtikam yajate yajna purusham sasamyak darshanah puman. We will do one more time. Iti murti abhidhanena mantra murtim amurtikam yajate yajna purusham sasamyak darshanah puman. All of you are from Andhra Pradesh. You would have gone to either Hyderabad, you would have gone to Balaji, Tirupati. How many times you have gone? Countless? Okay. How many times you have gone when you had a good darshan, where you felt satisfied in the heart? You stayed there for a long time. Does it happen or just jargandi? But in that jargandi also, when you get a glimpse of the Lord, doesn't it satisfy your heart? You are standing for long queue, so many difficulties, obstacles. You sit in one room, then you go to the another room, then you go to another room, and then finally that one little glimpse, and then that also jargandi, and you are gone, isn't it? But here, this verse that you are hearing today, you are fortunate on this Kartik day, you have come to the temple of Radha Damodar, and you are getting a chance to hear a verse from Bhagavatam which talks about the glories of Nam Kirtan. Sasamyak darshanah puman. The darshan, now you are having the darshan of the Lord. There is nobody who is telling you jargandi. Rather, people are telling, sit down. We are going to have some more things. People always want to go and run away. We say, no, wait, we have so many things to do. On the Kartik month, take the benefit of offering a lamp. You may not know it, but if you do it, it's a permanent credit. You will do that. Now, in a matter of time, 5-10 minutes, we will have 8 o'clock, 8:10, we have the Damodar Ashtakam singing, and you will offer a ghee lamp. Unknowingly also, you will get the spiritual benefit of doing that. But there is no jargandi here, but when you are having the darshan of the Lord, here it is mentioned, sasamyak darshana puman. You can have a complete darshan of the Lord. What is complete darshan? Sometimes we go, like I was telling about the example of Tirupati, the Lord is very beautiful. We don't get enough, time to see every aspect, the body of the Lord, how is his smile, in the chin there is a There is a ornament which is there. Can I see that properly? The Kaustava jewels or the Lakshmis which are there on the chest. Very difficult because it is so much of rush and people are in they're pushing you and then you just go. But here it is mentioned sa samyak darshana puman. Imagine if somebody tells you, like, you are sitting here, sit peacefully, comfortably, don't worry. Keep aside your mobiles, keep aside your worries, have the darshan of the Lord. And it is possible always if you do this practice which is mentioned here. Iti murti abhidhanena mantra murtim amurtikam yajate yagya purusham sasamyak darshanah puman. Iti murti abhidhanena. What is the meaning of the word murti? You said statue before and then you changed to DT. Good that you know that there is DT also. Actually, there is a difference. Usually what we think is this is made up of stone, right? Made up of stone, or you go to some place it is made up of wood or made up of metal. This is what the deities are. I mean, this is what the statues are. So how can the Lord be here in this? There is a very prominent school of thought in India especially where they don't believe in any form of the Lord. For the Lord doesn't have form. That is why the word used here is amurtikam. The Lord cannot have form. And this is in various Vedic literatures it talk about that. So sometimes when somebody reads this, he may get confused that whether the Lord has form, because in another place Brahma himself is praying Ishwaraha Paramakrishna Sachidananda Vigraha. And in another place it is mentioned Amurtikam. Means it doesn't have a form. So which one to take? Is Vedic literatures, is it meant for confusing us? Is it meant to give us some kind of information which is contradictory and we don't know what to do? No, it is not. The word Amurtikam means the Lord doesn't have material form. What does material form mean? So when did you come to America? How long you have been here? 15 years. Okay. Before that you were in India. Which car you used to drive there in India? Which one? Jeep. Okay. Do you have that Jeep now? No, it is gone. How old back that car was purchased? How long year? 20 years, 30 years? 20, 30 years back. Now 20, 30 years back maybe that car was good. That Jeep was very good, isn't it, when you bought that? But now if somebody says you go and buy that Jeep, like I remember when my father initially, the first time when he bought a car called Ambassador. Have you heard of Ambassador? Have you seen? You would have definitely. Have you driven Ambassador? Now if somebody says you buy an Ambassador, there is now Tesla, electric vehicles, so many things. Who wants to buy Ambassador? So like that, the material thing on this laptop is stable. After 50, 60 years, what is the value of this? Even a new car that you would have purchased here in America, after 50 years it is gone. Nobody cares for that. But the Lord has a transcendental form. He's not like, so when somebody says Amurtikam, he's telling he doesn't have a material form. The moment we say form, that means we are thinking our body. But Lord's body is Satchidananda Vigraha. It is Sat, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. It is not like any one of our bodies. That is why he's called Adhokshajam. We can't perceive the Lord by our ordinary senses. He's beyond the perception of the senses. So how do we perceive then? And how do you say that the Lord is here? Very important, very interesting. Pay attention to this one thing so that this concept is very clear. In Sanskrit, there is a word called Kaivalyam. What is it called? Kaivalya. Kaivalya. Kaivalya? What is your name? Your name. Ditya? Okay. What does it mean? Lakshmi? Okay, very nice. So, Kaivalya. Do you know what is the meaning of the word Kaivalya? Okay, close. Very good. I mean, somewhere we use that word Kaivalya. He's also from Andhra Pradesh, Bhavnara. Same. So, Kaivalya is the word which is used in terms of unified oneness. Means the Lord is considered to be the energetic, and Lord has lot of energies. So in one way energy and energetic are same, in another way energy and energetic are different. Like for example, when the sun is shining on the eastern horizon, you see the sun rays are falling everywhere. You are sitting in your house, through the window the sunshine is falling. Do you go and check, sun has come or not? You don't, right? Because the sunshine has fallen, you know that sun has risen. So in one way, sunshine is same as sun, but in another way, sunshine is different from the sun. Sun is localized; it is there in sky in one position. Sunshine is emanating from him. Like that, the Lord is called the energetic, and he has got lot of energies which are coming out, including this material forms like stone or metal or wood. And the same Lord says, I can manifest myself in this wooden form, in this DT form, in this metal form, in this stone form, provided you follow a procedure called prana pratishtha. So the Lord actually, by his mercy, he manifests here, provided we follow the process. He himself has told. Like the energy, if you want to see the energetic in the energy, it is possible if the energetic manifests himself. From milk, you can produce curd, you can produce cheese, you can produce so many things. And there is some trace of milk in that curd, in that cheese. Here, the Lord, because he is the supreme energetic, he decides, he agrees to come in the form of in this material form, like stone and whatever metal and DT. So he's appearing here. So when somebody knows this, understands this, his understanding or his vision of the Lord changes. We may go to the temple many a times, we may see and just bow down, but we may not know that the Lord is personally standing here. That is why people do all those things. If you know that he's the supreme Lord directly personally standing before me, I am doing worship to him, whole consciousness changes. But the second thing which is mentioned here, mantramurti mamurtikam, actually yajate yajna purusham, there is one way, here it is mentioned, by which we can know the Lord completely, perfectly. The translation is, thus he is the actual seer who worships in the form of transcendental sound representation the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, who has no material form. Mantramurti mamurtikam. When we chant the names of the Lord, we can actually directly perceive him. It's a very important, very beautiful concept which is revealed in this Bhagavatam, and it's which we should all try in our lives. Very easy. You don't have to come to temple. You don't have to invest any money. You don't have to do anything. But you can see yourself that the change is happening within us. Mantra murtim amurtikam. So how does it work? Like I said, the Lord can descend, Kaivalya. He can manifest in his energy in the form of stone, metal or wood, and in the form of Archa Vigraha, and we worship. Similarly, the Lord manifests in the form of his sound, in the transcendental sound vibration. You may say sound is what? Some frequency that you are producing in the air, it is coming to my ears. No, but it is different. This is a transcendental sound where the Lord manifests, and when we chant, we are associating with him. What does the word association mean? Lakshmi, sorry, goddess of fortune, whatever you send your name there. Dvija? What is the word? What does that word association mean? Be with. What happens if you are with someone? Suppose you are with someone, right? You are with some friends with whom you are hanging around. What happens if you are there with them? Connect with them, then what happens? Then you also imbibe some qualities of them. That is the reason you are associating with them, because you are liking. There is something which is common between. You don't associate with everyone, but you like with someone because the birds of same feathers, they flock together, right? So we associate with like-minded people. Sometimes, when you are having disease, we say that the disease can get contaminated. I mean, if you are having the disease, it can pass on to someone else if you are taking the remnants from him or her. What happens if we associate with the Lord? We get the qualities of the Lord, and we can associate with the Lord through his transcendental sound. So when we are chanting the names of the Lord, which is non-different from him, we are associating with him. So we imbibe the qualities of the Lord. Purnam, Pavitram, Vishuddham. So he is completely pure, free from all material contamination. That is how our contaminated, our consciousness, which is dirty, which is unclean, which is contaminated, gets cleansed. So you can repeat after me. Cheto darpana marjanam. Very good. You are doing very nice actually. How do you know Sanskrit so well? When you're able to, because it's not displayed. I'm just saying. Okay, repeat one more time. Cheto darpana marjanam. Bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. So the first one is Cheto Darpana Marjanam. This, our heart is like a mirror which is covered with dust. Lot of dirty things are there. So if the mirror is covered with dust, our reflection is not seen. But when we chant the names of the Lord, we associate with the Lord, so we get the qualities of the Lord. Hence, the impurities or the contamination in the heart goes away. The heart becomes clean. So we can see the Lord. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirbapanam. This material world, there is a forest fire which is burning in our heart. Do you feel some burning in your heart? Not because of some overeating or some extra spice that you have in the food. Not because of that. Is there a burning in the heart that you feel? The burning in the heart, as per the Vedic literatures, is the unlimited desires that we have. We want to, because we feel that we are a man. I'm from India, I'm from Hyderabad. I have to make it big in life because the whole world expects me to become rich, powerful, famous, influential. But that is very competitive, very difficult. And I have those desires which are burning in the heart. Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirbapanam. That burning sensation which we are having, we are having lot of hard time, that gets completely extinguished. Have you heard of Bhagavad Gita? You said about Krishna Arjuna. That is different from Bhagavatam. So in Bhagavad Gita, there is a mention of a verse when somebody takes up to this process of yoga. You've heard of the word yoga, buzzword. Everybody talks about yoga. That means some kind of physical postures. No. Yoga is a process of linking yourself to the Lord. When somebody takes up to this process of yoga, there are some symptoms which manifest. Imagine if you are having some fever or some kind of disease and the doctor gives you some medicine. So you take the medicine in the night. After some 8 or 9 hours, you expect that the symptoms will subside. You will feel better. And again you take one more dose after 8 or 10 hours or something. Then you expect you will get better. Something like that in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned. Somebody who takes up to this process of yoga, automatically this material concepts of life will go down. So in the morning we are having some beautiful prayers which are offered by Kunti Maharani. She explains what is this material concept of life. There is a beautiful verse. Janmaishwarya Shuta Sivir Edhamana Madah Puman Naivaharti Avidhatum Vai Tvam Makinchana Gocharam. Janma Aishwarya Shuta Sivir. What do you see in this material world? What people are busy with? They are trying to increase, amplify, enhance these 4 things. Janma Aishwarya Shutastri. Janma is how I can have a nice birth, rich aristocratic birth. Aishwarya, how I can have lot of opulence. Shruta, how I can increase my learning, knowledge. And Shri, how I look beautiful, how I can appear very beautiful in this material world. Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri. But these are all material concepts of life. It will all be gone one day. Edhamana madah puman. But people are edhamana. Mana is to increase, enhance, amplify. People are busy in doing that. So Bhava Mahan, that's why it's a fire which is burning in the heart. But when we chant the names of the Lord, this fire is completely extinguished. Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirbapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. Shreya Kairava, all the auspiciousness. Sometimes the heart needs some soothing. This is tired. The soul is tired running after chasing, doing all these things. You need the heart to be soothed. That soothing effect comes by chanting. So Bhava Mahadavagni Nirbapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Badhu Jivanam. You get transcendental knowledge. Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrata Swadanam. Anandam Buddhi. Sometimes we, in the name of happiness, what we experience is a fleeting pleasure. Momentarily, we get little happiness. But if you want to experience the real bliss, and that too, this bliss is an ocean, not some drop. And that ocean is also ever increasing. Anandam Buddhi Bardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrata Swadanam. In every step you can experience that bliss by just chanting the names of the Lord. Sarvatma Snapanam, Atma Snapanam. It cleanses, it purifies our Atma. It cleanses and purifies our heart. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. But importantly, as that 3 things that we were saying, keep aside the material knowledge, chant from heart. And third thing is, bow down. Chant from heart. Actually, there is a quality to the chanting. The verse that I just spoke of Kunti Maharani is, Janmaishwarya Shuta Sivir Edhamana Madhapuman Naivaharti Abhidhatum Vai. If you see carefully here, Itimurti Abhidhanena. This word Abhidhana and Naivaharti Abhidhatum. That Abhidhatum Abhidhanena. They're same root. You can't chant qualitatively. There is a quality to the chanting. The quality chanting will not come if we have the material concepts of life. Somebody is too engrossed to amplify these material things like Janma, Ishwarya, Shuta, Shivir. He can't call out to the Lord feelingly. The quality will not come. But if we chant qualitatively, if we properly hear, then our life will be successful. 4 more minutes. I will read the purport of this verse where Prabhupada explains actually Sanskrit is a very beautiful language. One word can have multiple meanings. Suppose you know a little bit of Sanskrit and you think that you have understood the whole verse by your own efforts. You may be mistaken. Why? Because one word can have multiple meanings and we will miss out. So there is a, like we have, do you have any dictionary at home? Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur. Do you have a dictionary at home? Which one? Oxford Advanced Learners or just the normal? Okay. So there is a dictionary for Sanskrit language. It is called Amar Kosh. If you mug up all the words in that Amar Kosh dictionary, virtually you will know the entire Sanskrit. So in the purport, Prabhupada speaks something very interesting. We don't have a lot of time, but you see this, how beautifully Prabhupada explains this. How we can know the Lord just by chanting His names. Our present senses are all made up of material elements, and therefore they are imperfect in realizing the transcendental form of Lord Vishnu. He is therefore worshipped by sound representation via the transcendental method of chanting. Anything which is beyond the scope of experience by our imperfect senses can be realized fully by the sound representation. A person transmitting sound from a far distant place can be factually experienced. If this is materially possible, why not spiritually? The experience is not a vague impersonal experience. It is actually an experience of the transcendental personality of Godhead who possesses the pure form of eternity, bliss and knowledge. Now you see, pay attention to this. There is another meaning to the word amurtikam, which Prabhupada is going to explain. In the Amar Kosh Sanskrit dictionary, the word murti carries important twofold meanings, namely form and difficulty. Therefore, amurtikam is explained by Acharya Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti. This Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is a great devotee of the Lord, directly in connection with the Lord. So they know the meaning. So he is explaining the meaning without difficulty. So you see, amurtikam is not just, doesn't have a material form, it also means without difficulty. If you chant the names of the Lord, you can experience the Lord without difficulty. And if you come in association of the Lord, then automatically you will develop those qualities. The transcendental form of eternal bliss and knowledge can be experienced by our original spiritual senses, which can be revived by chanting of the holy mantras or transcendental sound representations. Such sound should be received from the transparent agency of the bona fide spiritual master, and the chanting may be practiced by the direction of the spiritual master. That will gradually lead us nearer to the Lord. This method of worship is recommended in the Pancharatrika system, which is both recognized and authorized. The Pancharatrika system has the most authorized codes for transcendental devotional service. Without the help of such codes, one cannot approach the Lord, certainly not by dry philosophical speculation. The Pancharatrika system is both practical and suitable for this age of quarrel. The Pancharatra is more important than the Vedanta for this modern age. So which are the 5 things that we spoke about? Yes. Very good. Very good. Yes. And then today we saw the most effective, without difficulty, if you want to perceive the Lord, this is chanting the names of the Lord. So having come here on this holy day of Kartik, when you go back, at least take this practice of chanting every day for your own good. Like I said, no, Jargandi, we can't have the Samyak Darshan, but you can have this Darshan even sitting at your home just by chanting. So that is what is the thought for today. Now we will have Damodara Ashtakam. Srila Prabhupada